Welcome back to our video series for the complete guide to Next.js and Prepr. This video is part 3 in the series. Up to now, I showed you how to create a Next.js website with content from Prepr CMS. In this video, I'll show you how to prepare your website for A/B testing and personalization by setting up data collection and the Prepr Next.js package. Maybe you're asking why you need these preparation steps. Well, firstly, you need to know how visitors interact with the content on your website to help trigger when to show A/B test or personalized content. I'll show you how to set up the visitor data collection in your front end. Take a look at an example of a list of events in Prepr CMS tracked from a website. And secondly, I'll show you how to install the Prepr Next.js package. We developed this package with helper functions to make your A/B testing and personalization implementation much easier. And once again, just a reminder before diving in, you can get all the code snippets and the link to the GitHub repository in Prepr docs. So let's get started. As I mentioned before, I'm simply installing the Prepr Next.js package to prepare for A/B testing and personalization. So first install the package with this command. Later, when we fetch content for A/B testing and personalization, we'll need to set headers in the API request for those. This package has a function that prepares those headers for you. So I'm creating a middleware script to call this function on the server side. This function does a few things, one of which is to prepare the API request headers for you. To be able to track website visitors in your front end, you need to add the tracking code to your project. Let's do that now. So I'm going to update the layout file. And the reason I want to update the layout file is that I want to include tracking in the whole website, not just a specific page. So I'm copying over the code from Prepr docs, and that's it. Let's check that there are no errors by refreshing the page in the browser. In my front end, I'm choosing to track page view events. So remember that in Prepr, we have Acme Release demo content. We have several page content items. And the way that we set up our front end is so that we can render any of these pages. So when we add a view event or when we trigger a view event in the front end, it will trigger it for any of those page content items. So how do we do that? We simply add a meta property to the page. For the exciting part, let's test the data collection. To test it, simply go to your page in the browser and refresh it. When you do this, events are tracked and you should see them in your Prepr environment. So go to your Prepr environment and you'll see some view events or a couple of view events. And you should notice the name of the content item in the event. In my case, it's the homepage because I refreshed the homepage of my front end. Maybe you're asking, how does Prepr know which customer is which? There was no logging in and we didn't capture any personal data for the visitor. Well, thanks to the tracking code, a cookie is added called the Prepr UID. So you can see that value. It's a unique ID assigned to every visitor. So even for anonymous visitors, a unique ID is generated and assigned. In my project, I can then use this ID to identify my customer, which I need to do for A/B testing and personalization. And we'll see that in more detail in the next video. Great, we've completed the steps to collect data. That's all for now. Maybe it feels like we've ended on a cliffhanger, but I promise you the next part is worth the wait. In part 4, I'll get into the nitty-gritty of A/B testing. And just another reminder that you can find all the code snippets and relevant links in the docs. Thanks for watching.